Hello and welcome. Today's reading will be for Capricorn for February 2023. Welcome to the table, Capricorn. I have pre-shuffled the cards, but I will shuffle them again for you. I'm an intuitive reader and I read in real time. The flowers are from my garden. And the crystals have been in their salt bath, so they're all nice and clean, and I hope they bring some positive energy to the table for you. Okay, so I use a 10-card spread with 5 cards along the top row and 5 cards along the bottom row. I talk about each one of those cards as they come out, and then I overlay them with the second deck of cards. I talk about those cards as they come out, and then I pull the reading together towards the end. I do have a third deck of cards if I need to clarify any sections of the spread. Okay, let's begin your reading. First card out on the top row, King of Pentacles. Nice way to start. 4 of Swords in reverse, the Devil in reverse, the Sun in the upright position, wonderful. The 4 of Wands in the upright position. Second row we have the 6 of Wands in the reverse position, the Queen of Cups in the upright position, the Magician in the reverse position, King of Cups in the upright position, and the Empress in the upright position. For those of you who are interested in the bottom of the deck, I'll show you first. Looks like the Ace of Swords. Yes, it is. It's in the upright position, so that's a very nice energy to have on the table as well. So I'll talk about each card now. So the King of Pentacles, someone who's secure in their finances, secure in their values. They know how to earn their money, they know how to keep their money, they know how to stay secure in their values. They're very well grounded, as you can see. They're in a seated position. They're in no rush to change anything or no rush to do anything. They make a decision carefully and wisely. This person has worked hard to achieve what they've got, by the way. And money didn't fall into their lap. And that's signified by the grapes, as you can see, the grapes surrounding them. So this person has worked hard to achieve what they have got. Okay, we have got I'll hold it in the upright position, 4 of Swords. So needing to take some rest or a pause, a little bit of exhaustion perhaps, weariness. Perhaps you've had an illness. It's in the reverse position, so it's maybe you've had sufficient time to have a rest, or maybe you've had sufficient time to recover. It does, you always need to keep your hope when you are going through a difficult time, when you're having a rest, and the hope is there to sort of keep you going, to signify the encouragement for you. Got the Devil in reverse. So the Devil is all about being stuck or trapped in a situation that perhaps is not good for you. Now this can relate to drugs and alcohol and sex and overwork, being overcommitted to something perhaps that is not necessarily in your best interest. Or maybe if you're committed to something that is good for you, like a hobby, perhaps you've been spending too much time in it and you're becoming stale. So that could be a situation there. So we'll look at this as we go along, because it's not always clear in the beginning what it relates to. You've got the Sun. So this is a powerful and very auspicious card. Everyone would be happy to have this in a reading. It's about happiness and success. So it's a beautiful card to have on the table. Pardon me, I'm just going to move the microphone. I notice that I'm not speaking in the direction of the microphone. There we go. The next card out is the 4 of Wands. So this is traditionally associated about marriage or, weddings, engagements, this commitment. So 2 people committing to each other, or commitment. So it can also be about a partnership, a business partnership, but it's about a commitment. So it's a firm commitment on this earth. So actually planting your roots, and the wands have been placed into the ground. You know, they're not moving, they're not arguing, they're committed to each other. That is a firm placement. Okay, it's like the poles of a tent. Without those poles, the tent isn't upright. You don't have a home without firm security. Okay, here we've got the Six of Wands in reverse. So the Six of Wands is traditionally about a victory of some sort. I'm not entirely sure why it's in the reverse position, but we'll look into that by the time we overlay the second deck of cards. I usually get a better idea, and if not, I'll clarify that position. Here we've got the Queen of Cups. Someone who knows how to love and to give love, to share love, to be loving. She's very focused on her cup, so that's her main interest in the world. So if you've got this person in your life, this is someone who is very focused on being in a loving relationship. It's interesting that we've got the Queen and the King of Cups on the table. They're not in the best position with each other because they've got the Queen in this situation has her back to the King. We do have marriage there, but we do have the marriage card here, but I'm not going to read too much into their positions at this stage. The fact that we've got the King and Queen of Cups on the table and under the sun, and with the marriage here, and with a very fertile Empress, it does look quite good. So I'll leave it at that. Let's not get too complicated. We've got the Magician in reverse. Now the Magician is under the Devil in this situation. So the Magician in the reverse position can be a trickster or a con man. So, you know, the fact that it's underneath the Devil, perhaps you've had some connection with a trickster or a con man. Perhaps there's been some sort of deceit. I'm not entirely sure what that's about. It's sort of right in the middle of the reading for February. So, but it's interesting, you've got the Sun card. So perhaps this is not truly significant. Maybe maybe you've been scammed somehow, a little scam. Perhaps you're not careful enough about something, but I'm not entirely sure. We'll have a look at that some more. The fact that the Magician in the reverse position is between the King and the Queen of Cups, it's possible that someone has tried to come between you and play a bit of a trick on you, perhaps spread some gossip or some lies that maybe you believed for a moment. We've got the King of Cups here. So the King of Cups, again, somebody who's very committed to a relationship, very loving, very kind, knows how to look after himself and his partner and his family. He's very focused on being a good partner. So you've got them both here. The only thing I can think is that someone has tried to play some sort of a prank or a trick, or somebody has tried to come between you. But you do have the Ace of Swords here, so I think you know the truth. Okay, you've got the Empress here. So the Empress, you've got the King looking at the Empress. I do hope that there's no third party involved, otherwise that is always a recipe for disaster. Even if it's only a fleeting, a fleeting contact, it can actually be very disloyal and very upsetting for the partnership. It can put the partnership out of balance. But if this is part of the energy coming in towards you, Capricorn, this is highly fertile and highly creative, very loving, a homemaker, somebody who's focused on being with her partner and her family and setting up a very joyous home. And that's under the marriage card, so hopefully that is what's going to happen for you. It looks perhaps like you've got some marriage, and it looks like it's going to be a very loving situation, which is the best you could hope for. I'm very glad with the Devil and the Magician on the table that the Truth card has come out, because as I said, it's a little bit of a worry wondering what these cards are all about. But with the Truth card there, it does show that you've got some sort of breakthrough, independent and clear thought, and also, you know, using your intellect to determine what's what and who's who. Okay, I'm going to overlay these cards now with the second deck of cards. Overall, it doesn't look too bad. I think it looks very happy. The fact that you've got the sun on in the middle of the spread in February, that that alone puts a very positive energy on the entire table. That the weight of the sun card is stronger than any other card on the table. The devil card is very dark, but the sun card is much more powerful. Anything that's brought into the light, anything that's been brought into the light from a devil situation that's come forward into the light is cleared up, and then you know the truth. And once you know the truth about something, you know you're in a much stronger position to make good decisions and know where you stand. So the sun will always bring out the darkness. It'll reveal what's in the darkness, what's hidden and what's not in your best interest. So the sun on the table is always a very, very good card. I'm going to turn that over because I didn't ask for that. Okay, we're going to start by clarifying the King of Pentacles. As I said, so far, Capricorn, it looks very good. King of Pentacles on the table, nice money on the table, security or good values, and that's important to having good values. Okay, we've got the Queen of Pentacles. Wow, lovely. Can't be better than that. You've got the King and Queen of Pentacles right on top of one another. So two people, again, the Queen of Pentacles, very focused on her money and her finances, knows how to look after her money, knows what it can buy, and knows how to use it. So you've got the King and the Queen right there. Beautiful energy. Very positive for the start of February. Oops. Okay, I'm going to take that because it does look like it really wants to come out. Page of Pentacles. Oh, sorry. Page of Wands. That's what I get for showing the camera first. Page of Wands. This is a young and youthful energy. And it's about a new venture or the beginning of a new journey. But again, if it's a new journey or something, new creative project, at the very beginning stages. So it's not something that's been going a long time. It's lovely. It's a youthful energy. So perhaps some child is coming into your life. That is possible because this is often signifies a child, and in which case it would be a very joyous event. And the other thing I'm going to mention is if and only if this happens to be a child and you've just given birth to a child, perhaps some surgical intervention was necessary. Okay, let's have a look at the Devil. Never a pleasant card. Nobody likes the Devil on the table. It's very much traditionally associated with sexual energy, but it doesn't necessarily have to be that way. As I said, it can be any number of addictions. There are many addictions. People are addicted to all sorts of things. And an addiction really means an overcommitment to something. Okay, we have the World card. Okay, it's again in the reverse position. An unusual depiction of the World card, but it's showing a completion of a cycle. Means you have the world at your feet, having everything that you've wanted. Having everything that you've wanted is a traditional association. Usually got an oval wreath on it, and that helps to signify that something's come to an end. Even the addiction card has the ring on it, which can signify coming to an end. It's in the reverse position, so hopefully something that's not been good, particularly for you, is coming to an end. Only you will know what that is, Capricorn, and sometimes you have to search hard inside yourself to figure out what that is, because it's not always something as upfront as knowing that you have an addiction, say, to drugs or alcohol or smoking or sex. It can be something much more subtle than that. You can be tied to somebody without actually knowing you're being tied to somebody. You can be tied to a parent, listening too much to one parent when you, particularly if you're in a relationship with a partner, married or something like that. Perhaps, a parent can be having too much to say in your affairs. But that situation looks like it's coming to an end. As I said, it can be something quite subtle. It could be a sister-in-law or a sister or an in-law who's sort of meddling a little bit too much in your affairs. So, it can even be a family member that you listen to maybe too often, where perhaps you need your own guidance. But as I said, don't pay too much mind about that. You know the truth. So that's good. Let's have a look at the sun. Okay, Page of Cups. Again, another youthful energy. Again, a sort of a childlike energy. Again, loving. And under the sun, the sun can also be the birth of a child. So here you've got two very beautiful childlike energies. So the sun can be associated with the birth of a child. And the fact that you've got the Page of Wands on the table can also be a child. The fact that there's the possibility of twins, perhaps a boy and a girl. But beautiful energy. Again, because there's two children, and now there's three connections perhaps with children. I'm thinking perhaps surgical intervention of some sort that may have been necessary in helping with the birth of the child. And perhaps that would explain your exhaustion. But let's keep going. There's no guarantee of the birth of a child here, but this is a youthful, loving energy. It can be something new, but I am getting very strongly the birth of a child. I'm not quite sure why that's so strong. And it's not just the cards. It's the fact that the marriage card is here, the sun. Let's have a look at this Four of Wands card. But either way, if the children have come into your relation, it does look like they've come into a firm foundation, which is lovely. Okay. And maybe that explains this Empress card, because in which case the Queen of Cups and the King of Cups, now the Queen of Cups will have become the Empress. And she will be very focused, not just on her King of Cups, but very focused on her children and her family. And in the birth of children into a family, the male partner will sometimes feel like he's taking the backstage position. But that's necessary because the children need to be nurtured first. So perhaps the Queen of Cups has turned into the Empress, the loving mother and the loving homemaker. But I do think the King of Cups in this situation, he will know where his love is and he will know where to put his love. Let's have a look at the Four of Wands. I'm trying not to take too long. I think perhaps this video will be longer than I aimed for, but never mind. Okay. Oh, here we've got the Empress again. She's in the reverse position, but I'll just hold up the two cards so you can have a look, because I do like, the viewers to make up their own mind what they see in the cards as well. I do think that's important. A tarot reader is only there to read the cards from her point of view or his point of view. It's nice that you can make up your own mind about something. And you will note that the Empress in both of the cards is wearing this crown of intuition. She's got this, she's guided by the cosmos. So she's guided by her intuition, which is lovely. Always good to have some inner wisdom and intuition. Okay, let's see if we can clarify this mysterious Six of Wands. And I'm going to say this, and this is, I'm sort of talking too much about having a baby, but maybe you were hoping for a natural birth and that didn't come about. That's the only thing I can think about there. I'm just going to throw that into the mix. For those of you who are not associated with having children or giving birth, you've probably switched off by now anyway, but I thought I'd mention that. And it's interesting. He has his foot in the stirrup. You'll know what I mean if that's you, Capricorn. Okay, oh, lovely. You've got the sun again. Wow, this is in reverse, but you know the sun card in reverse is still not negative. I'll hold up the other sun so you can see it, because again, I'd like you to see both cards. Beautiful, beautiful energy. I'm definitely now, I'm not having any doubts anymore about children. So perhaps, like I said, surgical intervention, or, you know, maybe your hope for perfect natural birth didn't quite turn out that way, but that's how it goes. I mean, better to have a healthy baby than to, you know, the outcome is more important than the process. Sometimes, you know, our mind only goes as far as the process, but the outcome is far more important. So you need to remember that. Wow, beautiful energy on the table. Queen of Cups. What have we got? The Eight of Pentacles. Okay. Eight of Pentacles is about hard work and earning money. I'm going to go back to the baby situation. Looks like you won't be working hard to earn money, but for sure, if you've got a child, you'll be still working hard, but in a different way. Perhaps you won't be remunerated for the money, but you will still be working hard, maybe not in the same way. Having babies costs a lot of money and takes a lot of time. Let's have a look at the Magician. Okay, you've got the Hermit. Now, they're both singular energy cards. Okay? Now, they're both in the reverse. The Magician is capable of achieving anything, as you can see by his little lemniscate above his head here. It's got golden energy, so again, it's usually a beautiful card to have on the table. The Magician is pointing his wand up into the sky. He's trying to tap into the cosmic energy. So as long as the Magician is tapping into the cosmic energy, anything is possible, and good things come as a consequence of that. But the Hermit, you might be feeling a little bit isolated, a little bit alone. You know, that again, both of these cards can have a sort of an aloneness, feeling very separated from the rest. You know, the one is a hermit and one is a magician. Both of them are not exactly commonplace people. So your energy may be such that you are feeling a little bit different and alone and unusual. Maybe you're feeling a little bit unusual, or just not quite yourself. That's the other thing too. Perhaps you don't feel yourself at all. And don't worry about that. It'll come back again. You know, if you've been through this process of changing your identity, of course you don't feel yourself. You know, going from the Queen of Cups to the Empress is a change. She's not the same person, otherwise there wouldn't be two different cards. Okay? So you don't feel quite yourself, don't worry. You know, that will come back in time, and you will soon begin to identify with your new role. Let's have a look at this King of Cups. It's interesting that he's sitting in the sea, and there's a boat in the distance, which I've never noticed. I'll hold it close so you can see it. And you've got the sea above here. You know, there is the possibility of travel there, but that's a bit of an unusual thing too. I don't really know how travel would fit into the situation, but I'm mentioning it because I've noticed it. And I always mention the things I notice. King of Cups. Okay, the Fool, a new journey. It's in the reverse position. So the Fool on his journey is usually carefree and happy, and you know, he's not carrying any luggage or baggage. Perhaps your new journey here for this King of Pentacles, whoever this king is, only you will know. For this King of Pentacles, the new journey may feel a little bit confusing. Perhaps it's not quite as carefree as you had thought it might be. Any kind of change is not always as easy to accept as you sometimes anticipate. You think you will have no problems adjusting to your changes, but you know, there's always a little period where it takes a little while. It's like any change that happens in a household. You might have to suddenly get up an hour earlier. You might have to get up 2 hours earlier. Your nights might be disturbed. You might have relocated to a different house. All of that requires adjustment. A new job requires adjustment. It always takes a couple of weeks. Okay, here we go. We've got the Empress one wants to jump out. So 7 of Cups. This is wishing and daydreaming. All your wishes, trying to figure out what to choose. Often more about fantasy and daydreaming. It's a bit unusual underneath that cup, but it does have, as you can see, there are many different things in those cups. Not every cup is always what you think it's going to be. When you choose something, it's like choosing to be wealthy. All of a sudden you have a new set of problems. You have to worry about insurance. You have to worry about other people stealing your wealth. You have to worry about the envy that comes with that wealth. There are all sorts of issues that come with everything. Everyone thinks, it'll be so easy to be wealthy. I won't have any problems. Yes, you will. You've just got a different set of problems. Won't it be wonderful to have children? Yes, it is, but you've got a whole new set of problems. So as much as any situation, wouldn't it be wonderful to be on my own again? Yes, it is, but then you're lonely, and also you've got no one to share the costs with. There's always a price to be paid for any wish that you fulfill. Okay, I didn't look at the bottom of the deck, but we'll have a quick look. I'll show you first. I'm not sure what I'm looking at here. Okay, 10 of Wands, so a bit of a heavy burden. Got a little way to go before you put them down, but it's coming to an end. And it could have already come to an end, okay? So a heavy burden, a bit of a struggle, but that looks like it's over. I do think I was very concerned about clarifying this card, but I'm more concerned about clarifying this one at the moment. This one I do think, I do think for some of you, and as I said, those Capricorns who are not interested in this reading because there's no birth in their circumstances probably will have turned off by now. So I do think, again, this is associated with the birth of a child, and perhaps you weren't able to have your natural birth. So I'm not going to clarify that. I will clarify here this 7 of Cups, because that is the only one that I have any interest in at the moment. You've got the Empress in both positions here at the end, so beautiful ending with a committed relationship. And that's not necessarily marriage, it's a committed relationship. Now let's have a look at the Empress and the 7 of Cups. And then I might stop the reading because otherwise it goes on too long. I do hope you've enjoyed the reading so far. If you do, thank you so much for watching this far. Okay, let's have a look. 7 of Cups. So the Ace of Wands. A new venture, a new beginning. Very nice. So it's a new journey, a new beginning, something highly creative and highly fertile, and it's right on top of the Empress. Okay. Again, fertility, pregnancy. If you're not interested in falling pregnant, particularly after you've already just given birth to a couple of children or a child, be careful. That card has just popped out. You're just as likely to fall pregnant again, or there's definitely possibility of pregnancy here under the 2 Empresses and this marriage. So again, we've got pregnancy. So be careful. Highly sexual, highly creative energy, a very fertile energy. I'm going to leave it at that. I think that's quite plain. Thank you so much for watching, Capricorn. I do hope you've enjoyed the reading. Bye for now.